What up? Welcome back to Uncle Rico's Storytime. Testing. Hi, Zeus. Bye, Zeus.
Oh, little chickies. Hi, chickies.
God damn it, you're so cute.
Look at how adorable you are. Who's speaking? Who's speaking?
Okay. We're just gonna roll with it. We're rocking. 20 seconds in. I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Today is a good day. I got my golf balls in the mail and got my first goaltending playoff win last night. And more importantly, the team got our first win in like 6 seasons, I think. For a while there, we were President's Cup trophy where we were just rolling people, like going undefeated, tying once or twice, but I think 2 years in a row we went undefeated and then got bounced right away in the playoffs. So yesterday, yesterday was weird. I'm hearing more and more that goaltending is mental, so I really wanted to prepare myself yesterday, so I was like listening to goaltending highlight videos, and on my way in I was listening to my favorite songs. Got a real good stretch in. It was an 11:15 game at night, so I was running around doing errands, and I ran to my south property, and I have a very weird effect on technology and electricity and stuff. But I drove down to my south property, and there's two lights that flicker occasionally when I get near it, and they both flickered. And then I went into Kohl's, and as soon as I walked in, and I didn't have anything except for my wallet. I left everything out in my car. I run in, and as soon as I went through the security alarm, it starts beeping like crazy. And the lady looks at me, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm not like bringing back stolen goods or anything. And she's like, no, you're good. And so when I'm leaving, it does it again, and I'm like, I don't know what is happening. And she's like, I'm like, I have a weird technology thing, and she's like, I've never seen that before in my life. I'm like, I don't have anything. I'm like, open my pockets. I'm like, she's like, no, you're good. So got to the game, and we found out that our best player wasn't going to show up. He texted our captain like 10 or 15 minutes before we're supposed to get on the ice. Hey, my parents came into town, surprised me. I'm way too drunk now. Apparently, I can't play hockey when you're drunk. So, after we were done wondering why he didn't invite his parents to the game, we went out, and first period, they just laid it on us. They outshot us like 12-2 in the first period, and they squeaked a goal by me, and then we just lit them up in the second and third, controlled the puck. It was awesome passing. They had one other garbage rebound goal on me, but I think I faced like 28 shots maybe, and their poor goalie, I think we had like 44 shots on him, maybe 50 shots. But we got a win, so we're playing our arch rival next week. I'm super motivated to be in better shape and conditioning, so every day I'm running around my property and doing push-ups and sit-ups, and just try to do more than what I did the day before. And 4 days into it now, which is nice. I'm feeling good, feeling motivated. I think I'm over the hump, and I'm starting to kind of not enjoy it, but just do it. What else? Let's look at the notes, shall we? Oh, the delivery dude. I was watching in my camera. This delivery guy showed up, and he was so scared of Zeusy. He left the package. I've got a covered patio where the dog is, um, and he left my package, my golf balls, like 8 feet away from the patio or the shade or anything. It was like out in the middle of the driving lane. I watched him as he came out the truck, and he was like, and he just set the thing down and took the picture and got back in his car. Some people aren't dog people, and I get it, but Zeusy just wants to say hi. I broke up with like 3 scammer chicks yesterday. Um, I embrace scammer chicks. I know they're fake and catfishing, but did I tell my stories about catfishing? I wonder. And I don't know, but I know they're catfishing me. But the real relationships that I get in from like dating apps and stuff, I just get yelled at. So I don't know. It's super sad. He's like, what the fuck? Uh, yeah. I know it's fake shit, but this way it keeps me engaged at least. I can say, hey, what's your favorite movie? And they'll ask me what mine is. I know they're playing me, but it's nice to be in a polite give and take. So, but yeah, I broke up with all of my scammer chicks. They finally delivered delivered the hook. I almost feel like it's all the same people, because it's all at the same time. They always respond at the same time, and then they all have the separate reasons, but different. The one said, it's always like, oh hi, what's up, and then they're like, so do you want the sexy, fun, any style? Oh yeah, I want the sexy, fun, anytime style. And then I just get nasty and I won't repeat myself, and they go along with it, and then they end up, trying to get you with the hooks. They're like, hey, let's do this. I want to come over right now. Great. Send some gas money. No, that's all right. I'll come to you. Oh, I can't host or whatever. Oh, my grandma's here. All right, bye. So then the other one's like, hey, come over for the sexy, dirty, hot talk, hot fun time. I'm like, all right, bet. Let's do this. I'm gonna ride you donkey style, fun, hot, sexy. Okay. Send me money on a gift card so I can distract my kid when you come over. I'm like, what? You're ashamed of me? Shut it! Okay, I'm rambling, and I was told that I got to keep this short, so I just realized that I'm not going to go over and over all the reasons why I broke up with scammer chicks. I did, however, watch Schitt's Creek last night. It's just a darling show. It's just darling. No, it's funny as shit, and I've watched however many seasons are on Netflix, or is it Amazon Prime, a while ago, but I'm rewatching them now, and I don't think I watched the one where the son gets married or gets engaged, and it was just so uplifting, and I think inspiring for alt sex lifestyle, people questioning themselves, which is awesome. But then I started to think of like all the people that it doesn't go right, and I just got sad. And then I started to think about my sister, and there was when so the son in this show is gay, and he ends up getting engaged to, and he's very flamboyant, transparently gay, and he gets engaged with a very conservative guy who's been straight all of his life and kind of questioning himself. And when this guy saw David, the son, he said he just knew and whatever. It's a cute love story. But there's a part where when the partner Patrick, his parents find out about it well after the fact. It was kind of hidden, and they said, like, we're just questioning what we did. And then David's parents, I think, or maybe it was David, started to get upset, and they were like, no, 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 fuck, I'm gonna get emotional. They were like, we're just wondering what we did to make our son not think he could tell us sooner. And that paralleled what I went through with my little sister. I was the last one to find out, and we all kind of knew. She's very tomboyish. Her wardrobe consists of wife beaters. Um, I love her to death. She has worked in like plants, and like her one of her longest jobs was at John Deere. She started as a temp and at a John Deere plant, and she started as a temp and like got picked up and was employee of the month, and she just rocks. But I was the last one that she told, and that was the first thing that I thought of. Also, was why didn't why didn't she think that she could come to me sooner? She told my super bigoted, right wing, conservative, Bible thumping sister before me. And then I realized that that was a very selfish, thought for me to, like, why are you thinking about yourself right now? This was hard for her to do and everything like that. So, and I didn't say that to her. I didn't verbalize that to her. Of course, I was like, when she said it, I was like, yeah, I know, I love you. Da, da, da. I kind of figured. I think. I hope that's the way I responded. I can't remember. But in my head, I was thinking, why am I the last one to know? Like, everyone else told me already. But it's got to be such a tough thing to go through, wondering how your friends and loved ones and everything are going to react. But I've had this conversation a few times with people that I thought might be in the closet. I'm like, you know what, dude? It's this one kid in Omaha. He was so funny. I used to, when I worked management, I would sit just to fuck with people. I would sit off to the side and I'd look at them, and then when they'd see me, I'd pull out a pocketbook. I can't remember shit because of my TBI. So I learned long ago to carry a pocketbook and write shit down, which has saved me, which has actually made me a ton of money too. But I would see him, but I would see employees, and as soon as they'd look at me, I'd look away and I'd pull out my pocketbook and I'd write something down. And I would never tell them or anything. And then, like, later on, it was always like a time bomb later, where at the bar they'd be like, dude, I've been meaning to ask you, like, do you remember where? I was like, I don't remember, but I just do that for the shits and giggles. So I would do that to this kid all the time. And he would always wear, like, unicorn rainbow colored stuff, and he was very effeminate, and he'd talk like this, and just very soft spoken and stuff. And I would fuck with him. He would come up. He'd be like, "What would you write? What was I doing? I don't even know what I was doing. What was it because I didn't greet them fast enough?" And I'm like, dude, just don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll talk later. But there was one day where I walked up and I was like, all right, buddy, you got one chance here. Like, come clean and it's all good. And he's like, oh, was it the desserts that I gave away? Because I didn't. And I was like, no, 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 no. You know. And he's like, oh, the family with the soup. And I go, no, 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 dude. I don't care about the soup. And he was like, that the Bloody Mary was a mistake. If anything, I go, dude, you didn't do anything. I just wanted to see how many times you would rat yourself out. And I just walked away. But I was talking to him one day, and he's like, man, I'm so sick of people, making fun of me, saying that I'm gay and da 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 da. And I go, I don't know, man. I can't really talk to you about this stuff. This is all stuff that I can get in trouble for. It's not work. You know. And he's like, oh, and I go, well, I mean, if you want my advice, and this is, like with a disclaimer, you've asked for it, this is not work related, da da da. I go, dude, it's a band aid. If you do have a lifestyle question, you do it, and you're gonna get. There is relief in that. When you stop carrying that secret, you're gonna know either way. You know, some people will react negatively, I'm sure, but at least you know. You know, at least you know who your true friends are, who your real family is, who loves you. You know, um, and I'm not saying either way, whatever. But you know, if I had you know a fake leg and was trying to pass it off as real, and people were making fun of me for it, by the once I finally admit that it's a fake leg, it doesn't have that they don't those things don't hold weight, and it's out of the closet, and they'll probably still say something every once in a while, but you'll know that it's in a place of not hate, because you know where their true feelings lie. And I was going around with this restaurant chain, um, popping around troubleshooting. So I left the store after that, and went to Des Moines, and went back and um, saw the kid again. And he came out and was like, "You're right. They don't make fun of me anymore." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's the Eminem 8 Mile mic drop. You're like, I'm fucking gay, bitch. What?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm, so much happier." I forget what that kid's name is, but the notepad saved me. Well, not saved me, but made me so much money one night. I was working at this. I was in Hudson, Wisconsin, which is a very small river town, and it's more touristy and chic, if you will, but it was always kind of more of your, go into the bar and throw dice kind of thing, spit on the floor, you're not going to get in trouble. And I decided to take over the bar and help them open up the bar and be the full time bartender at this sushi slash Chinese food restaurant fusion. It was actually really, really good and opened up my eyes about sushi. Um, but nobody sits at a goddamn bar at a sushi restaurant. Nobody sits at the bar at a Chinese restaurant. So I'm bartending, and I'm like, my God, I'm making fucking zero money. But when we first opened up, this couple came in and sat at the bar, because we were on a wait, and they were just a lot of fun. The wife was hot, so I remembered them, but I wrote down their details in my notepad. Not in a psycho way. Now that I said that the wife was hot, I just remembered that the wife was hot. Um, um, but I write down all their details, and fast forward a couple weeks later, where I'm like, "Fuck, I'm gonna have to quit. I'm making zero money. Like I'm working, I'm showing up, I'm stocking, I'm doing all this, and then I'm walking out with like 30, $40 in tips." So, figuring out what I'm gonna do, sitting there through the dinner rush with my thumb up my ass. I go outside, smoky, smoky. Nope, I was going in the cooler there. No, no, it was outside there. And come back in. As soon as I come back in, I see this couple walk in from the parking lot, and with two other couples. And so they walk into the front door, and I go, Kyle, Amy, what up? And they're like, oh shit, man, what's going on? You know, because I saw them walking into the parking lot, so I took up my notepad. I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Golfer, hot chick, Kyle, Amy, ba 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 ba, ding 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 ding. Yep. So I'm like doing this thing, and then I go, hey, Kyle, Amy, what up? And they're like, oh shit. So they bring over their couples, because everybody wants to feel like I mean, you walk into a restaurant, somebody's like, oh, what up, like a cheers. So they bring over their couples, and they introduce me, da 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 da. How's everybody? I was like, okay, bang, bang, bang. I get their drinks, I'll be like, all right, I'll be right back. I go around the corner, I write down the couples' names. Beep, beep, boop, bop, bop, bop. So next time they come in, I do the fucking same thing with them. So I walked back out, and I was like, what's up, man? Have you been golfing? And he's like, no, 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 no. And I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, hey, Amy. You do, do, do. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you remember that. And I go, so what's been going on? And they're like, oh, nothing. We love the food so much that we came in for dinner. And they're like, yeah, we're waiting for a table for six. And they're like, they're like, oh, I was like, well, let me grab you some menus. We'll start you out. Do you guys want appetizers? And they're like, well, fuck it. Let's just eat at the bar. And I was like, yeah, I'll take good care of you. So they had, oh man, they fucking spent some money. I think it was like $300 or $400, and then they took care of me, which was nice. One of the better hookups that I've had. The two other ones, the one where I was working at Denver was so sweet. I was working at this Italian place, and I was a new guy. And anytime you're a new guy, and I was a cocky son of a bitch, so I earned a little bit of pushback, but I always usually have problems with like a mom type server, who just kind of thinks that she's the protector and very territorial. Um, but I was having fittingly, this girl's nickname was Mama. Um, but I was having issues. I had felt like I'd kind of fit in with the guys. I was, solid. Everybody was okay with me. But this one lady was giving me a hard time. And we're in the server station, and the GM comes back, and he goes, Nick, you're sat. It's the Anderson. It's Mr. Anderson, and you're cut for the night. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And he goes, no, it's a good thing, because I was gonna be like, cut for the night? What the fuck? We just started, bro. You know. And he saw me coming. He's like, no, 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 it's a good thing. And so I go, it's like I turned to my buddy. I was like, what the hell was that? And he goes, whoa, bro. And the chick that I was having problems with was like, what? And goes storming off after the general manager. So I'm like, what's up? And my buddy, he goes, dude, this guy's a high roller. Like, he's like, you're good. You're going to make a couple of C notes. I was like, oh, sweet, you know. So I go up to this table, and it's a dude. It's two dudes and the one guy's daughter. And so I do the thing that I always do at with tables with kids is I kind of ignore the parents and I just take care of the kids. Um, so I walk up to the table. I go, I go, Good evening, ma'am. How are you? And she's playing with her toys, and she's like, I'm good. And I'm like, can I start you off with maybe a kitty cocktail or? And she goes, what's that? And I go, it is delicious. It is Sprite with a little bit of cherry juice and some cherries. And she's like, that sounds good, Dad. Can I have that? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And I go, gentlemen, what can I get for you? And he goes, thank you for that. And he goes, don't worry about the drinks, so and so knows. And I go, okay, great. Start you guys off with anything? He's like, no, we're going to be real quick. And I go, ma'am, do you know what you want to eat? And she's like, chicken nuggets. And I was like, I turned to the guy and he's like, yeah, they always get the same thing. So I was like, okay, cool. So I go back to the kitchen. I go, hey, so and so's daughter, and they're like, yeah, she always gets this. So I go to the bar, and he pops out. He's like, yeah, GM's getting it. I forget what his name is. He's like, GM's getting the wine. He's in the office. So I go into the office. He's like in this fucking safe where he's pulling out this bottle of wine. Chink, chink. He's like, okay, this is a blah 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 blah, and he goes, don't worry about the flavor notes or anything, because this was such a nice place. You know, you present wine at this place, and it's always like, you know, ladies and gentlemen, this is a row 11 Pinot Noir, trace of, you know, da da da, flavor notes of vanilla, blah blah blah. I don't do that with this table. I just go decant it. I give him a taste. He's good. I give the girl a Shirley Temple, and then she comes to the outside, and I just kind of pop into her. Like I'll kneel down and talk to her. Like, say, hey, so what's, you know, what? So are you in school now? She's like, yeah. I go, what grade are you in? She's like, oh. I go, did you learn anything? Anything crazy happened in the last week? No. And I go, nothing happened crazy. I mean, well, so and so fell and blah blah blah, ripped her pants. And I'm like, oh, that must have been pretty funny. So he goes to leave, and he had two bottles of wine. I think they each had a pasta dish, and this chick had like chicken nuggets with a side of spaghetti. And the bill was like, I don't even know what the bill was, but dude left me $380. $380 tip, I think. So 460, 380. I don't know, man. It was a lot though. And boom, I was gone in probably 40 minutes. I was cut so early that I didn't have any side work. You know, in the restaurant, when you get cut, you have side work. So you got to clean something down, or you got to do utensils, or do whatever. I was cut so early that I didn't have any side work. They couldn't give me any side work. I was like, well, I was going to fill dressings, but they're already full. He's like, have a good night, man. I love that GM. Um, but I was at the Irish place then, hanging out later on, and man, this bitch had to eat crow, just for the fact for him to give me that table, you know, because he chose me. It wasn't a rotation thing. I think he knew how good I am with kids and stuff like that, and was like, yeah, he's, you know, a good dude, works hard, kind of thing. So, but yeah, man, that bitch had to eat crow at the Irish spot later. But that was kind of what made it. She walked up to me later. She was like, "Motherfucker, I was here forever before I got so and so's table." I was like, "Hey, man, you know." She's like, well, "How much did he tip you?" I go, "Whatever." And she's like, "Oh my god." She's like, "You lucky son of a bitch." I was like, "Hey." She's like, "All right, well, you know, blah blah blah." I think I bought her a shot or something like that. So, but then we were fine after that. So, what was the big tipping guy? I don't even remember. I think I had another story, but We're done. Oh, that's actually a pretty good story. So I'm working at this place in Omaha. It was a fine dining place. It was a real hole, not hole in the wall like shitty, but like hole in the wall like we didn't advertise. We were in an elbow of a strip mall, and like only like the rich people in Omaha knew about us. So judges, lawyers, doctors, Warren Buffett hung out there all the time, stiffed my servers all the time. That prick uh, doesn't believe in tipping. So he came into my spot and had the same server twice and didn't tip him. And then I met a taxi driver in Omaha who said he took Warren Buffett and the guy didn't tip. So, and the taxi driver said he asked him about it, and he said, "Don't get into a position where you're relying on gratuity," which is funny because that fucker made his money off commission. So, pretty hypocritical. But then again, that's why he's rich. He's ruthless, and he's a prick. So, where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. So, I'm running it, but I'm bartending also. And this dude comes in jeans, in a t-shirt, and a hat, like a Burlington Northern hat. Or, no, it was a manufacturing company. He comes in, sits at the bar, he goes, "Hey, you got beer?" I go, "I got Budweiser long neck." He goes, "Perfect." Boom. Put it out there. He goes, "Yeah, da 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 da." He goes, "Yeah, meeting a friend for dinner." I go, "Great, it's great, blah blah blah." I go, "There's a couple of suggestions. The whatever is amazing, Da, 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 da. If you want to start off with something, we've got a shrimp scampi, which is." When you get to the table. So his friend sits down, and he goes, "Why don't we get some menus? We'll just eat right here." This dude was a manufacturer guy trying to wine and dine a Burlington Northern rep. So after the Budweiser long neck, rewind it, I took him because the female bartender that I had was ignoring him. She was this okay looking female bartender who thought she was a lot hotter than she was, thought she was a lot more talented than she was. Her plan was to move down to Nashville to sing country music. And there was one day where we were partying. We'd after bar at this restaurant a lot. And we were after bar, and we closed the restaurant down, and we're partying with this guy who owned a studio. And so she right away tried to manipulate it and stuff. And so this guy's like, "Hey, bringing the party back to my studio." And so we're sitting there, we're having fun, and he comes out from his like studio part. It was like in a little apartment and stuff. But he comes out, he goes, "Hey man, come here, check this out." He pulls me into the studio, and this chick has talked him into recording her singing Christmas songs because it was right around Christmas. So she is singing Silent Night and murdering it, right? Because I'm listening to it. And, she's like, "Silent Night." And he goes, "Doot, doot, 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 boop, 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 doot, doot, boop, boop, doot." And he goes, "Check this out." Boop. And plays it in its frickin' angelic. I mean, she sounds like Celine Dion. I was like, "What the shit is this, man?" She shattered like all my holy mackerels. They made her sound just like a angelic choir. I couldn't believe it. Amazing. But yeah, she's bartending and giving this guy. She's not giving this guy. He's like, "Hey," and she kind of walks away. So I walk over and I'm like, blah, 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 what's up? And it turns out that he's this, manufacturing guy or something like that, where he's trying to wine and dine this Burlington Northern guy. And so he ends up eating dinner at the bar, and then once the other guy gets there, they start opening, bottles of wine, opus, steaks, you know, surf and turf with side lobster tails and crab meat piled on everything. So the dude tips me a lot, I remember. Because at that point I was making really good money and kind of high rolling, and I was like, fuck yeah, that's nice. And she came over. Oh, yeah, she was cut by the time I cashed out. But then next time she was working, I made sure that I told the story and she heard how much I made off of it. Don't judge a book by its cover, honey. But okay, enough rambling. We've gone 36 minutes. First playoff win. Go Tens! We got another game next week, folks. Stay tuned. Cheeky cheeky.